lipstick on. Sorry. This picture is called Almost Home. And it is the result of a lot of things that were going on in the world. They've gotten worse since this. But it's just sort of a surrealistic attempt to display how a simple thing, something that you don't even think about, really never think about, like walking down the street, going home from wherever you were, can be not just an adventure, but possibly a life-endangering event. So most of the work that I do starts out, unless I have a plan for it, like I've got pictures to use, I have an idea and a concept. All I wanted to do was the family, you know, a group. So I started with the circle, and I opened, this is a manila file folder, so I opened it up to give me more room because I felt I wasn't working big enough. I was basically using half, and I just wanted to do a little bit more. And the reason why it took me so long to draw, this is a pencil drawing, some pastel around there, is that I take meticulous, you know, details. And I find that if I was using bigger paper, that I was getting impatient with finishing it. So I really didn't have a concept of the outside, I just had the circle. And so I had some faces that I thought were interesting, and I used them in here. And the objective of the cards is a game. You know, you just play cards, you don't think anything of it. But it also is sort of a luck of the draw. How long will it take you to get home, and will you get there? I mean, that was like in the back of my mind. And this guy, he came next as far as the filling in. Because what I do when I'm creating something is I make the story. If I don't already have some concept, then I make a story as I'm going along. I mean, I don't have word for word or conversations, but I have, okay, so he's trying to get them home. He's trying to get home to them or get them home. I like the idea. I had this book, it is about the churches, this big oversized book about all these different churches in Europe, old churches. And I was looking at it, and I liked the concept of these pillars, you know, something really strong, and it kind of gave me a feeling, I don't know about anybody else, of something that has an age to it that is old and that is sort of set. You know, you're accustomed to looking at it. It's beautiful, but after a while you really don't see it. You don't really see your environment. You don't really pay attention to it. You just expect it to be what it has always been. And so he expects to make that journey and go home. And so then I put him in water. I like water, I don't know why. It's hard to draw, but I like it. And I added the police officer, or a concept of a police officer, someone in authority. There's no weapon in there. It's just the fear of what could be. And then the stairs, and there, he could be home. You know, it's just like that. The number 868 was my dad's favorite number. He was a, what they call a numbers runner, which means that he would go to people's homes and pick up money, and they would give him little slips of paper with numbers that they felt were lucky. Then he'd take them to the big person, and the big person would, you know, whatever they do, and put the monies together and whatever. And then if the people won, he got a percentage of it. So if he had 20 people whose houses he went to, and 5 of them won, you know, a certain amount of money, well, he would get a certain percentage of whatever they won. He was also very lucky. I think there are people who are born lucky, and he was one of them, because he always, aside from that money, always had a number that he played, which was 868. Either in combination, or in combination meaning that it didn't have to come out 868, it was 688, 886, that kind of way. He always won, and when he died, which has been over 20 years, that number hasn't come out except once as a box, meaning that it was 688, because I play that number. Because he was just lucky. he was just lucky. I mean, he played other things. But the bottom line is, to me, that number has a value other than just a number that you see. So the whole thing is about home and safety and being comfortable and being familiar. And I use the pencil because I like the pencil. I like the fact that you can play God by erasing what you don't like. And by you can do this whole picture and say, you know what, I don't like that. There's a little face in the background, you know. There's always a nosy neighbor. And just erase that whole thing and put something else there that has value to the whole image. And you would never know as a viewer what was in there, what you only see, what I have decided to present to you. And that's pretty much how I operate. I decide. I don't know if I have some issues with authority or with being in control. I don't know, and it really doesn't matter. You know, I control what's happening in the images that I make. I may consider what I think someone might like, if they're interested in it, if they have said something about, you know, a piece of work, I might consider that was pretty good, that worked out well, and incorporate it into something else, at least a piece of it, or a technique that I might use, because I like to use a lot of different materials in the same image, because I want a particular kind of look for it, and one material just doesn't do it. So I am working bigger now. I have really big pieces of paper now, but I still have that same, almost finished, and it just seems like it won't take, I can't get it done soon enough. I've got the basic picture done. There's a few things that I want to do to it that I feel needs to be done to it, and I've got this sense of like, oh, this is taking forever. But if I stop, it might be months before I come back to it. And I need that feeling of hurry up, you know, let's hurry up and finish it and move on to something else. And so now we'll move on to, unless you have a question or anything. Okay. All right.